What's up, internet? I am Leia. I'm also known as Leo or That Queer Theater Kid. Go check out my Instagram. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit that notification bell. Today we are talking about polyamorous frequently asked questions, as you may have seen by the title of this video. So we're just gonna get right into it. First, my friend asked me if most poly people are married or trying to get married, and if most of them have like a preferred or ideal living situation. And then they were like, rank the poly living situations. So a little bit about that. I do know a lot of polyamorous married people. However, I also know a lot of people who, are not ready for that part of their lives yet to settle down or to get married and have a big, legal recognition of their relationship. So, like a lot of the answers that I'm going to give, it really does just depend on the poly person, their community, what has been like modeled for them or seen as accessible. It'll be like a very personal decision. But a lot of polyamorous people really think about like that commune or like big property that is co-owned and co-operated in some way. It's definitely a big dream. So, like some non-monogamous people have some really big ideas about group living, but it's not really like one situation is considered the most beneficial, because living situations and relationships are very hard to figure out in general. Additionally, like to talk about that kind of stuff, I need to explain a little bit more about poly terms. So a polycule just means a bunch of relationships that are somehow connected to each other. It could be that they're like socially connected, so like a bunch of couples who are all polyamorous individuals could all just be really close to each other and call themselves a polycule, even if none of them are like dating across the way. But also a polycule can be a group of people who are all dating each other, a group of people who are dating in between. Like there's hinges where someone is dating two people in the group and someone else is dating two people in the group. Maybe those other two people are also dating, stuff like that. That is what a polycule kind of is. It's just a configuration of other relationships. We also sometimes say things like comet or satellite partner to refer to a partner who we have in another place that we might visit. And because of that, I have heard people refer to poly like configurations as their poly universe or their poly constellation, which I think is super, super cute and like is a pretty way of referring to your relationship. So I use constellation a lot. Additionally, I want to share that most of non-monogamy and polyamory is like kind of just as hard as monogamy. However, it's hard because it's unlearning a bunch of stuff that was trained into our minds and hearts and bodies. So most people, when they hear that I'm polyamorous and ask me a few questions about it, they go, I could never do that. I would get too jealous. And I feel really challenged and really like, oh, why would you say that to me? Because polyamorous people experience jealousy and frustration and difficulty and pain just like monogamous humans. The difference is that we're doing like decolonizing work on our brains to prevent us from feeling so much like possession and right over our partner's bodies. So it's like really heavy, big work that enables people to participate in non-monogamous relationships, and it feels very hard and frustrating to hear that like jealousy is the main deterrent for people who think that they might benefit from an open relationship but aren't doing it because it would just be too hard. It's like, yeah, well, dating is hard. Going up a relationship escalator, referring to the way that relationships are trained to progress and get more significant over time and hit milestones like stairs or an escalator, the relationship escalator, is hard to move along because you're interacting with someone who has different expectations and beliefs and desires that you maybe haven't communicated. Polyamory and non-monogamy requires you to communicate and break down those little micro things that you aren't used to telling a romantic partner or a potential match. So it is a lot of vulnerability, but you are very supported to have hard feelings like jealousy and anger and pain and heartbreak. Like it's a way of growing how you are while growing new relationships simultaneously, and everyone becomes more resourced, and everyone becomes like ideally everyone becomes a better person, someone who understands their needs and desires and can ask for them and then get them met because there's more people on the same team. Yeah. The last thing I want to add for this short frequently asked questions video is that there's not very accurate statistics on who is non-monogamous in the United States or in the world abroad, but non-monogamy and polyamory are very different from polygamy, and most monogamous people just don't know that. Polygamy is religious and it involves one partner having multiple partners, and all those multiple partners are only married to that one person, and it's very religious in nature, whereas polyamory or ethical non-monogamy is very secular, very not connected to religion at all. That is all that I want to start off with. Thank you so much for listening to me yap. Really appreciate it. Have an amazing day. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you later, Internet.